Hey E7s, this is our first lessons from the algebra unit that we'll deliver online. It's me, Mr. Hannah. Our first lesson is about number pattern. So can you please make sure you have a book to write notes on? Preferably you would have your summer book with you, but if you don't have your summer book, just use one book and write everything that I ask you to write down. So first, can you please write the learning intention and success measure? So for our learning intention for this lesson, to be able to recognize and write a rule for number pattern. And as a success measure, I can recognize the number pattern and I can write a rule for the number patterns. Feel free to pause the video and write things down whenever you need to. So our first activity is a number fluency. So I want you to look at the picture in here and think about, is there a pattern in this? So if you're not sure if there's a pattern or not, I always suggest you write how many of these circles do you have? Well, we have 2, then 4, then we have 6. So think about it. Is there a pattern that's happening? How many green dots will be in the 5th picture? So this is our first picture. This is our second picture. It's our third. It's our fourth. So what would our 5th one look like? Try to think about the pattern to figure it out. Oh, sorry. Okay. Now, our next task is using the matchsticks that are given to you, make these patterns. So of course you don't have matchsticks that we provided you with, but if you ask your parents, they might have some matchsticks that you can do this pattern with. Otherwise, you can just draw the matchsticks in your book and try to figure out the pattern. So can you find the pattern? So try to think about how many matchsticks is being used here, and then think about what is the pattern. So this would be picture 1. This is the second picture. This is the third picture. Think about what the 4th picture will look like. What will be the 15th pattern? So what would the 15th picture look like? Now, can you write a rule to describe the pattern? Well, I think I'll need to help you with this since you'll struggle a bit to figure out this on your own. So, can you find the pattern? Well, if you already tried to do this, the pattern is that every time you add 3 matchsticks. So, adding 3 matchsticks. Okay. What will be the next pattern? Well, we have 3 matchsticks. We have 6 matchsticks. We have 9 matchsticks. So the next one would be 12 matchsticks, since 9 plus 3 is 12. And if you want to draw it, it would look like this. What will be the 15th pattern? Okay, well, we know for every pattern you're adding 3 matchsticks. So if we want the 15th one, well, 3 times 15 should give us how many matchsticks? Well, that would be 45 matchsticks. And then if I draw the pattern, well, I need to draw 15 of these triangles. Five, five, and two more. Let's just count them quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, can you describe a rule to describe the pattern? Well, let's write a rule. Well, the rule would be, well, we can say the next pattern equals 3 plus the previous. That's one way we can do it. Another way we can do it, well, we can say pattern number, oh, pattern, yeah, if we want to figure out how many matchsticks we could do, we could, sorry, I'm still trying to get used to how to use the touch pen. Okay, so if we want to find out number of matchsticks, well, that would be equals to, well, the number pattern, the pattern number, times 3. Because after every pattern number, we are adding 3. So, for example, my fourth pattern, which was this one, well, fourth pattern was 4 times 3, which is 12 matchsticks. My 15th pattern was 15 times 3, which was 45 matchsticks. So there's two ways to think about it. Is it about how many matchsticks there are, or maybe it's about what is the next next pattern? So there's multiple ways to think about it. Here is a look at that again. Very nicely written. So the number of triangles and the number of matchsticks. So instead of thinking about it as patterns, you have the number of triangles and then how many matchsticks you need to make those. And we can see after every number of triangle, you need 3 more additional matchsticks to figure out the pattern. So for every new triangle, the number of matchsticks raises up by 3, or goes up by 3. You can write it as number of matchsticks equals 3 times number of triangles. Or instead of using words, we make shortcuts. So matches, we use the letter M, and triangles, we use the letter T. So M, number of matchsticks, equals 3 times the triangles. Okay, can you now think about this pattern? I'll leave you to try this one yourself. This one is a challenging one. Give this one a try as well. Okay, can I get you to copy this into your summer book or book? So, number pattern, a list of numbers that follow a certain sequence of pattern. So for example, we have 1, 4, 7, 10. Well, what's the pattern? We're adding by 3. So we're going up by 3. So starts at 1 and goes up by 3. Now it could start with a different number. It could have started with 2 and then went up by 3s, but then the numbers would be different, wouldn't they? So where you start and how much you go up by or go down by is very important. Another example is 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Well, this pattern is an interesting one because instead of adding, you're multiplying by 2 every single time. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32. There's many ways you can come up. Okay, lastly, we have a review and an exit ticket to do. So for this one, you have to look at the shapes that you have here. So shape 1, shape 2, shape 3. Those shapes are made of matchsticks. So this one have 6 matchsticks. And then you have 12 matchsticks and so on. So you need to complete. So shape 1 has 6 matchsticks. Shape 2 has 12 matchsticks. Shape 3 has 18. So try to figure out what about shape 4, what about shape 5, and what about shape 20. Okay? So once you have filled those empty spaces, then figure out a rule. So the number of matchsticks equals the shape number. So shape numbers are here, those numbers here, times something. So we can tell how many matchsticks to use if we know the shape number and a number. What's that number? What are we timesing by? Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Please complete your activities from the booklets for lesson 1 now.